Hello, Professor. Hello, class. This is my final project presented by Melissa Garciglia. This project aims to explore and implement innovative language learning methods for English as a second language, with a focus on fostering communicative competence and enhancing learner engagement. This project integrates communicative approach alongside other modern pedagogical strategies. Also, the project seeks to create a dynamic and interactive learning environment. It is structured in 4 stages in which the main goal is to identify learner needs, select appropriate teaching methods, design and implement lessons, and evaluating the outcomes on these interventions. All of this while promoting active participation, collaboration, and problem-solving skills. This proposal outlines an online EACL program designed for intermediate level learners, aged in between 18 and 25 years old, focusing on enhancing English proficiency for academic, professional, and travel purposes. The curriculum covers general English skills with an emphasis of real-life communication, including social interactions, travel English, workplace communication, and academic basics. Stage 2 Language Course Planning Summary. Competency level CAFR B1 Intermediate level. Focuses on developing listening, speaking, reading, writing, grammar, and vocabulary. Specific objectives breakdown. A. Listening and speaking. Practice social interactions through role plays. Simulate real-life scenarios. Deliver presentations and monthly public speaking exercises. B. Reading and writing. Summarize various texts. Write professional and academic emails. Develop structured essays and reports. Text analysis for grammar and vocabulary. C. Grammar and vocabulary. Master verb tenses. Expand vocabulary in specific domains. Learn linking words. Apply modal verbs in context. D. Pronunciation and fluency. Improve pronunciation and intonation. Address common non-native speaker challenges. E. Self-learning. Develop independent learning strategies and utilize diverse resources like podcast media and reading materials. Modifications for Stage 2. Choose verbs that lead to measurable actions. Course objectives. Develop comprehensive communication skills. Focus on real-world language application. Build confidence across multiple language domains. Some of the key skill areas are listening and speaking role-play scenarios, presentations, real-life communication practice, structured essay development, grammar and vocabulary, among others. Assessment strategy, measurable objectives, rubric-based evaluation, continuous progress tracking, technology enhancing monitoring. Learning approach, practical goal-oriented, student-centered, and adaptive to individual needs. In Stage 3, we design activities for phonology, morphology, and syntax. In Stage 4, we design programs for EACL skills development for intermediate learners. Target group, age from 18 to 25 years old, and the main goal was the comprehensive communication skills enhancement. The objective for Lesson 1 phonology was to improve pronunciation of TH sounds through practice and self-assessment. Some of the activities that we realized was the explanation of tongue positioning, minimal pairs practice, tongue twisters, and self-recording for feedback. The evaluation was based on pre- and post-session recordings, peer assessment and instructor feedback, and the keynotes were use visual aids and mirror for better learning, and group students by native language for targeted practice. For the second lesson, morphology, the objective was to recognize and use affixes to expand the vocabulary. The key topics were common prefixes and suffixes, word formation rules, and meaning deduction strategies. The activities were based on word mapping, matching exercises, and word building games. And the most interesting was a fixed bingo and creative writing task. Lesson 3, Syntax. The objective was to understand basic sentence structures, correcting word order errors, applying punctuation rules, and constructing complex sentences. The content covers word order, adjective adverb placement, complex sentences with subordinated conjunctions, and punctuational rules. For this activity, I had to create diagrams and exercises while students completed a grammar, diagnostic, and brain confusing sentences examples. Stage 4, Lesson 1. The main goal was to recognize language variations, adapt communication to social context, and develop register awareness. Core strategies was to register identification, comparative dialogue analysis, social context simulations, language variation exploration, practical skills development, role play exercises, media language comparison, and cultural communication insights. The assessment approach was performance-based evaluation. For Lesson 2, Pragmatic Competence, key focus was effective communication strategies. The main objectives was master speech and production, understand implied meanings, develop communication repair techniques. The core strategies was speech, act, mastery, directive communication, politeness strategies, contextual communication practice, pragmatic skill building, scenario-based learning, implicit meaning interpretation, and cross-cultural communication styles. Lesson 3, Integrated Skills Development, the key focus was comprehensive language abilities. The three main objectives were synthesize listening, speaking, reading, and writing, create meaningful multilingual experiences, and develop academic and professional communication. Core strategies were focuses on global citizenship theme, cross-skill task sequences, authentic material engagement, skill integration techniques, multimedia topic exploration, collaborative research project, and reflective communication practice. Assessment approach, holistic skill integration performance, portfolio development, and presentation rubrics. Pedagogical principles, create supportive communication environment, provide comprehensible input, encourage language use, risk-taking, focus on meaningful communication, and develop learning autonomy. For the last lesson about communicative approach, I try to focus on developing communicative skills in real-life context through innovative strategies, also applying vocabulary and grammatical structures in spontaneous conversations, and lastly, promoting collaboration and autonomy in language learning. For the content, it was important to me to add key expressions and vocabulary for daily communication, also oral interaction strategies in real-life situations, and lastly, application of active learning methodologies in language acquisition. For this lesson, I need to prepare by creating a short video explaining key concepts, designing also an interactive quiz like Quizlet, Kahoot, Google Forms, and lastly, preparing a conversation, challenge cards, and a digital spinning wheel for the spin and speak game. Before the class, students need to watch the pre-class video, complete the interactive quiz for self-assessment, and write 3 questions related to the topic to use in class. To start, the first activity is a gamification activity in which students pair up and take turns asking and answering quick questions related to everyday conversations. Each correct response earns points, and the student with the highest score wins. We just need a piece of paper and a pencil, and it just lasts 10 minutes. The warm-up gamification activity is a mystery scenario. Students pick a situation card like ordering food, asking for help, small talk, etc., and create a short dialogue. The next activity is a speaking challenge gamification kind of activity. This is the spin and speak that I mentioned before, and is a digital wheel that determines the conversation challenge, like giving directions, introducing oneself, discussing hobbies. And to close it up, the reflection activity is the think, pair, share. Students discuss what they found easy, difficult, and share strategies to improve. This just needs a piece of paper and a pen, and it lasts 10 minutes. And the exit ticket for the class is to write one new phrase that you will use in a real conversation this week. To evaluate students for this lesson, I just want to observe students' participation and fluency, and they will have homework in which students will record themselves for 1 to 2 minute voice message using new vocabulary and submit it via WhatsApp or a learning platform. Kind of easy. Some of the observations that I want to develop in this class is to encourage students to actively participate in gamification and collaborative tasks, even when they feel unsure about their English level. I also need to monitor the group dynamics during activities to promote equal participation and prevent certain students from dominating the conversation. So I want everyone to participate. The foster and supportive and motivating environment, reminding students that fluency improves with practice and that mistakes are part of learning. So it's normal to make mistakes. And observe and take notes on students' performance to provide specific feedback on pronunciation, fluency, and vocabulary use. I truly want students to feel comfortable while talking and making mistakes, being part of the journey of improving in their language skills. I want to encourage them to be spontaneous, to not have fear, to just be open to conversations, and also to be the role model for them for interactions. So I can provide practical examples so they can see the structure of some responses that kind of can guide them through the pace that they should have for real communication, real conversation, in which they are deeply enrolled in this constructive feedback in a way that build the students' confidence and help them refine their communication skills. Innovating teaching strategies. I want to focus on gamification, flipped classroom, and collaborative learning. The first one makes practice more engaging and memorable. The second one is instructional approach that reverses the traditional learning models in which students engage with new content independently outside the classroom. And collaborative learning helps students practice communication in authentic contexts while implementing group discussions and peer-to-peer activities to build communication skills. Some studies indicate that gamification enhances in student engagement and reinforces learning through immediate feedback and enjoyable challenges. Some research shows that flipped classroom improves critical thinking and allows students to focus on practical language use during class. A study shows that collaborative learning improves retention, reduces anxiety, and fosters natural language use. Lastly, communicative approach focuses on the real-world language use, helping students engage in meaningful conversations. Research shows that engaging in communicative activities helps students to develop their comprehension in authentic settings. Some of the theoretical foundations in this project was based on these influential theories. Foucault's zone of proximal development suggests learners can achieve higher levels of language competence with guided assistance. Krashen's input hypothesis emphasizes the importance of exposure to comprehensible input for language acquisition. Connell and Swain's communicative competences model focuses on the ability to use language effectively and appropriately in various contexts. And lastly, Barham's intercultural communicative competence highlights the importance of intercultural understanding in language learning. The project draws from several key theories and approaches that became the fundamentals from this project. The first one, communicative language teaching. After task-based language teaching, the scaffolding techniques. Fourth one, integrating skills approach. Fifth one, sociocultural learning theory. Sixth one, learning-centered strategies. And the last one, technology enhancing learning. Some of the project's contributions to ESL teaching were enhancing real-world communication for the students to develop these practical language skills that they can use in real-life situations. Second, increase student engagement through gamification that introduces fun and interactive elements into the learning process, boosting students' motivation and participation during the class. The third one, improve learning flexibility. That flipped classroom model allows students to learn at their own pace outside class. The fourth contribution is a stronger peer interaction and collaboration. This collaborative learning fosters a sense of community in the classroom where students learn from each other through group activities. Development of critical thinking through collaborative learning and flipped classrooms. Students are encouraged to think critically, solve problems, and apply language in meaningful contexts. And lastly, motivation and confidence building. The overall goal of this project is to provide a dynamic, interactive, and real-world language learning experience. The strategies and technique ensures the learners develop both language competence and communication confidence, equipping them for success in real-life situations. This approach sees language as a social practice and an ongoing process, emphasizing that language skills are essential tools for personal and professional communication. Thank you for watching this video about my project presented by Melissa Garciglia.